What's going on, everyone? LA Sports back with another video. In this video, I want to talk about Chris Boucher and should the Toronto Raptors trade him at the trade deadline that's in 5 days. It's coming up. We're gonna start getting some trades. We're gonna start to get some interesting news. So it's gonna be definitely an interesting next couple of days, and I'm interested to see if Boucher will get traded. And I don't know if I would trade him or not. It's a tough situation because he's 29 years old, so he's not young, but he's not old. The only thing is he's a free agent at the end of the season, and he's a little bit inconsistent. If you take a look at his stats from his last few games, the last 2 games he was really good. Right, he had 16 and 10 against Chicago. He had 11 and 8 against the lineup. But you go the 3 games before that, he had 2 points, 3 rebounds against Miami, 3 points, 7 rebounds against the Hawks, and then 1 point and 2 rebounds in the other game against Miami. So, I mean, he's inconsistent, which is, it kind of sucks. It's something that you don't really ultimately want to see. In your players, and it's just an interesting situation. And I don't know if Chris Boucher is part of the long-term plans of the Raptors. He's definitely a good bench piece, but you have Khem Birch locked up for 2 more years after this. So you gotta ask yourself, if Khem Birch can stay healthy, does Chris Boucher make sense? And I think you could argue yes. I think you could argue no. But if I'm the Raptors, I'm going to trade Chris Boucher if, and that's a big if, I can get a bench piece in return or someone that's going to have an impact, on the team this year and the team moving forward. So if you can package Boucher with Dragic and the first to get a good player, like a John Collins or a type player like that who can make a big impact, then I'd let go of Chris Boucher. But if I'm getting 2 second-round picks, absolutely I'm not doing that. I think Chris Boucher can make an impact off the bench still, even if it's inconsistent. You still get something from him. So I think that he's a guy that the Raptors, unless they're getting something for, I think they should keep him, and I think they should look to extend him in the offseason because he's a guy he could still play. Chris Boucher on a 3-year, $20 million deal would be a good contract, no doubt about it. I mean, if you can get him to that sort of contract in the offseason, I think that's a fair contract for both sides. I think it works really well for the Raptors, where you're paying him just under $7 million a year. He's going to give you production off the bench. So, it would definitely be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the Raptors elect to do with Boucher, but they do have Khem Birch. So, if they choose to get rid of Boucher at the deadline or let him walk in free agency, you got to live with it. I definitely think it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with Boucher. I think they're going to take the approach of, we don't need to trade him, but if the right deal presents itself, he's definitely a guy we could trade. That's the way I see it with him. Like I said, there's a little bit of inconsistencies. He'll have a couple of good games, and then he'll go on a stretch where he plays poorly for 3 games. Take a look at his numbers. Over the course of 20 minutes a night, he's averaging over 9 points a game, 6 rebounds a game on 46% shooting. So it's definitely, they're definitely decent numbers off the bench. And I think he's a guy who, when he's on his game, like he has been the last couple games, he's a really good player, and he's efficient too. He could shoot the 3. He's not a great 3-point shooter, but, he could shoot it. And for a guy his size, that's obviously something I'm sure the Raptors value. But, again, he's 29 years old. He's not super young. His contract's expiring, and he's had a previous injury history. So there's definitely a lot of things to look at when you talk about Chris Boucher, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Raptors attack this situation and attack him in free agency, or sorry, in leading up to the draft. I would not be surprised at all if he's on the team after the trade deadline, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he is dealt. I think he's a guy who it could go either way, and if he's traded, I ultimately expect us to be getting a guy who can make an impact right now, and more than likely moving forward into the future. But like I said, if I were the one calling the shots, I would do what I feel like they're going to do and not trade him unless you're getting a piece that is going to help you win now. And if he stays here after the deadline, I'd look to extend him if he's eligible for extension in season. I'd look to do that. And if not, then I definitely look to re-sign him in free agency. Of course, he's a Canadian guy, so it's cool. He's got a really good story, and it'll be interesting to see what the Toronto Raptors do with Chris Boucher at the trade deadline. But guys, that's all I got in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down below in the comment section, what do you think is going to happen with Chris Boucher? Do you think the Raptors trade him, or do you think they keep him? And what do you think would be the right decision? I think it could go either way. I think it's a pretty 50-50 shot right now. I definitely think if they keep him on with the team, I think they should definitely, without a doubt, look to extend him, whether he's eligible for that in season or in the off season. Let me know all that good stuff down below in the comment section. As always, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Let's go Raptors.